Hey, thank you all for joining us again. I've had a lot of questions about this bike in particular, on the frame and how to build it. With any of them, I mean, there's no right or wrong way, I guess. But they're wanting to know, people ask me, what's the angle of that right there, and all kinds of other questions along that. I'm going to cover some of that with you. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is pick your material on what you want to use. I use 1 inch eighth wall tubing. It's a little stronger than anything from the that are factory built. You're gonna want your wheels, your axle, and your bearings to be one of the first things you pick up. And the reason being, depending on what size tire you're working with, you're gonna want to set the height on where your frame is off the ground. Um, this is a go-kart bearing set. You can get these from BMI Carts or Go Power Sports. Those two I definitely recommend to get those parts. This is a disc brake rotor. This one will have hydraulic brakes on it. Of course, this one's going to be golf cart wheels, front and rear. The other side will have the sprocket, which isn't on there. We don't need that for the mock-up part. You will want to make sure everything is nice and straight across there. You know, with the heat, it did bend in a little. Once we get to welding the rest of those in, it should hopefully be able to fix it up. As long as there's no binding, there shouldn't be any problems. And the angles, like I said, you do want to angle the front. When you get to the forks, the neck section was right there. I use 1.25 inch for the neck. I get some bushings off of Amazon, which will accept the 3/4 inch bolt. And this one here is a little short for what I need. As you can see, I made the neck a little long, but I made it for the way I wanted it to be. This is about 5-inch neck, I believe, lengthwise. When your bars are going, you do want to set the angle of the front forks to, I'm trying to think if it's 30 degrees, at least a minimum of 30 degrees to help with the turning. Once I like to buy, I'm waiting on a hub yet to get these front forks done, which is why the rest of this is kind of just sitting. But once I get the hub, I'll be able to get the length of the fork here, cut it down. I believe this is going to be way too long for what I need. Once you do that, you can, I got a, check it out, little Woodward Fab tube bender over there. That's what we use. I do recommend that, very, very highly recommend that. And then when you get to the point to where you're attaching the bar from here up to the neck, you want to set the angle of your neck. Obviously, on motorcycles, they do have a greater angle, and that's because it does help with steering. Once you get that figured out, you can then get your bars that run across and down to wherever you want. I mean, you can design it any way you want, which is the best part of this. I got this piece of metal just sitting here for a motor plate. There will actually be a motor plate that goes on there, and I'll make some bars that go across. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to even design your forks like that. This one here is actually, give you an idea here. It's going to have a hoop that goes around. It's going to be really tight on the tire, which is the way I wanted it. And I'll put some little brackets out here so that the bolt, it'll be a 5/8 bolt that goes across through the hub and attached to the other side of the wheel. Oop. And there's all kinds of different styles of handlebars you can go with. This one's pit bike. It's got the Harley seat. And obviously you gotta, once you get the parts, like the seat, you can do these angles differently. You could put a different seat, any kind you want. There's all kinds of different ways. Not only that one, I mean, just like this one here, I could have easily angled that top bar at an angle down, and not have near as clearance on the engine, which would have worked good too. Looked a little better probably. But it's all learning process. But yeah, you get an idea. I mean, like I said, there's no wrong way to do it. You just want to make sure your welds are good. You want to make sure you got your good welder. And of course, we got some storm seating. You're going to need a tool with a cutoff wheel, a grinder, just like down there with a flat disc material, you know, and just let your imagination go crazy. It's fun building them. I mean, they don't have to all be off the wall, so to speak. You could build you a two-wheeler like this Motovox here. Just, you know, maybe you want to put a little bigger wheel or extend it. You could make you some extensions for the back. But yeah, I mean, all the parts are readily available from BMI Karts, Go Power Sports. The forks, I want to cover this real fast. The forks, I usually use a 1/4 inch plate on top. I actually use it on top and bottom, but this, I ran out of 1/4 inch plate. So I'm using an 1/8 inch plate. And to be honest, I did the same thing on this one, and it's been plenty strong, plenty of wheelies, and it's been holding up. So, and the wheel combination, you can use anything. These are go-kart wheels on this one. This one obviously is a bicycle front tire, golf cart rear tires. You know, they got different power plants. This is a Tillotson engine on that one, Predator on that one, and a Predator on that one, and this one up here is getting a Predator as well. But yeah, like I said, making a frame. If you guys want me to do a step-by-step on even bending it and showing you exactly what you need to do, I'm more than willing to do that. I like helping everybody out. The grinder with the flap disc is really good for cutting notches. If you ain't got a tube notcher, you can literally just take a little at a time until they butt up against each other real good, and then weld it in. But it's actually a lot simpler than a lot of people think. This will be my fifth mini bike build. Hopefully I do plan on building a go-kart at some point. I'd like to make me a little dune buggy like go-kart, but that's later on. But yeah, I mean, like this one here, I did make a lot of mistakes. This was technically my second, but my first one in the last 8 years or so. But this neck could have been angled more to help with the steering. The forks, I don't like the way that bottom plate is on there. I mean, there's a lot of little things that I don't like about this. I don't really care for the brake setup, but we did, you know, like I said in the last video, we did shorten it up, which made it funner. But yeah, I mean, like I said, those angles, you can change those angles there. Those, I want to say they're at 60 degrees. I want to say that's at 60 on those. I don't quite remember. But yeah, you can just play around with it. I mean, whatever looks good to your eye, you can, you know, and whatever will mate up to the neck when you get to that point. You know, use your imagination. That's what it's all about. I just want to go over this a little bit with you guys. Like I said, please like, subscribe, share. If you guys want us to do a complete build, you know, step by step, we can do that too. Thank you all.